Welcome to Chillin' Hill Tarot. My name is Lady Nikki 33, and if you have followed me here from Instagram, a warm welcome to you. And here is your extended reading from today, Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. And for those of you who are just joining the channel, a warm welcome to you as well. We'll get into the backstory from Instagram. I'll give you a quick recap. But before I do, allow me to introduce myself. Let me start off by saying that I am an intuitive tarot card reader and psychic medium. Now, the messages that you will receive in this reading should serve as confirmation to what you already intuitively feel. These love stories are for entertainment purposes only, and please follow your own intuition because you know your story. Now, you were attracted to the caption for a reason. However, this reading should not change what you already believe and know about your situation. Now, on this channel, I don't use the titles such as Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, for a saint is just a sinner who got up. They fell down, but they got up, right? And a karmic is just someone who's to teach you a lesson. And we've all been a karmic in someone's life and situation. So I don't tend to use those titles on this channel. This channel is just for good old tarot. Now, although I am a twin flame, I'm not a twin flame reader. And so I don't tend to get into that energy. However, if I do see it in the messages, because I know some viewers are also twin flames, I'll mention it, but I don't get too heavy into twin flames and past life connections. Again, this is just good old tarot. Now, while we're all on our spiritual journey and love journeys, I don't mix spirituality with tarot either, nor will I encourage you to subscribe to any set or spiritual path. Allow me to be your guide through Tarotland as I channel the messages my guides give to me. I'm completely transparent, and I'll even include my own journey and experiences in the reading where I see applicable if I intuitively feel that it might help you in your personal journey. Okay? So, again, welcome to Chillin' Hill Tarot. I am Lady Nikki, and I hope there is a message here for you today. Now, on this one, listen, I got my notes and everything. I definitely want to put a disclaimer. This is 18 years and older, and the title is Jailbait Confessions. So I'm channeling a couple of messages through music. And the first message that I received, and I think it's because of child, right? Jailbait. Now, this is by a group called West Coast Crew. And here's the lyrics that I specifically channeled. And then I checked it on Google so I can make sure that I'm giving it to you right. Okay. So it says, to all you older guys, a young girl could be a woman with a perfect lie. And not only that, her body built so well, good enough to put a man in jail. You can do what you want, but there's limitations, the do's and don'ts. I know it's tempting, but you gotta be strong. And if you touch her, something's bound to go wrong. But nevertheless, the image they portray, a woman in disguise, is jailbait. Don't be Chester. And then the song goes on, don't be Chester. Okay, I'm not going to get all into it. Shout out to Sinstar. She's my #1 reader and mentor. I'm not going to get all into it. If you're interested, check out Jailbait by West Coast Crew. All right. Then I channeled the song Confessions, and that would be by Usher. And I think that's where this Emperor energy comes in, okay? And so the message that I heard, or the lyrics that I heard, is just when I thought I could say all that I could say, my chick on the side said she's got one on the way. Man, I'm thrown, and I don't know what to do. If I'm gonna tell it, then I gotta tell it all. Damn near cried when I got the phone call. These are my confessions. So I'm picking up on a feminine energy, and she's not necessarily out on the board yet. But I'm picking up on a feminine energy, and I think your husband is the emperor, and he's conceived a child out of wedlock, and he wants to or he needs to confess his marital transgression. But, and this is where it gets really tricky. For someone specific, that's not all to the story. Even Usher says, if I gotta tell it, then I gotta tell it all. The all, intuitively, I believe that the third party is a minor. Now, the justice system is involved, and I'm feeling there may be a need for a DNA test, maybe to prove that a child is not the masculine's. But for someone specific, if the child is proven to be his and the third party is a minor, this husband is facing up to 6 years in prison as a sex offender with a minor that's 14 years or younger. Okay? So yeah, y'all, this is a deep one. Now, for others of you on a lighter scale, this offense is just adultery, and he's hoping that the DNA test will be negative and you'll forgive his marital transgression, and or if the child is his, that you'll accept the child as part of your family unit. See, these jacks, shout out to Crystal Clear Tarot, Ma, where are you? But anyhow, these jacks always want and we lived happily ever after kumbaya foolishness, okay? So that's the backstory from Instagram. Again, this is the extended from today, September 19th. Yeah, September 19th, 2023. And those are the messages, and these can be past, present, or future energies, and they're also timeless, okay? So now here's your spread. We have, for the bonus message, we have the child, okay? And then we have worth waiting for. And then we have, I tried to run from this connection, but my soul craves you. Yeah, see, this is where it gets creepy to me. This is what gives me creepy vibes. Because with craves, that reminds me of a temptation, right? But now in a whole different scenario, maybe this is feminine energy here. Maybe normally you keep your legs closed to married men. Shout out to Nene Leaks. But something about this masculine, I mean, he is the emperor, right? Something about this masculine maybe has you willing to break your rule, okay? I'm even recalling in the movie Waiting to Exhale, and the character that Whitney Houston played, she had been waiting on this love connection, definitely emperor type energy. And she had been waiting on the love connection, and he was about to leave his wife, like right on the brink of it, but then the wife just popped up preggers. And so then because of that, he couldn't leave the wife at that time, right? So we about to get in. We just about to jump in and see. Because there's a few scenarios here. I want to stick with the lighter scale. But that initial opening message about jailbait and all that does apply to someone. But let's just hope that let's just hope that it stays there, right? Because I really don't want to channel those messages. But I did see it, so I have to speak on it, right? All right. So now in your past energy, we have the Four of Pentacles. So someone held back from communicating something significant to this storyline. Or this, again, could be this feminine energy who doesn't play with married men. Or this can even be the minor who lied about their age, right? Jailbait. Or this is the energy of the emperor who could not resist the temptation, which I do not condone, nor do I believe any of the viewers who view this reading. I don't think you condone it either. I'm just the messenger. Now, in the present energy is the emperor, and that's the jack that we're talking about. And in the future energy, we have the Six of Cups. Now, for me, cups can be significant to kids. So he's either adding another cup to his bloodline, depending on what this DNA test says. He might end up now with 6 kids. And then we have the Justice at the root of the reading. And so again, for those who do resonate with the situation about the jailbait, this 6 cups can actually represent to me 6 years that some offender may be facing for his transgression, right? But I don't know. The other thing I was thinking is that maybe these 6 cups here could be speaking about some type of poly type offer. So if it is that type of situation that I was picking up with Waiting to Exhale and he can't leave his wife, then maybe perhaps this is going to be some type of poly offer, like, you know, come join our family, or I can't leave my wife, but I don't want to leave you either. And, you know, some type of offer like, can you just accept it? I don't know, child. We about to get into it. And then at the root of the reading is the Justice. And so on this card is a woman, and she has scales in one hand, and then she also has a sword in the other. And I think, if anything, this definitely is the feminine energy. This can be you, right? You're waiting on that DNA. Remember, we have worth waiting for. So this could be the feminine energy who is actually waiting on that DNA test to before she drops the sword on this marriage, right? And then also it could be that the woman here on the Justice card, she could also be a woman judge, right? So we'll get in and we'll see what happens. Now, crowning the spread is the 5 of Cups. And this, to me, is everybody involved, right? So this will be the husband feeling regretful for being a cheater. I doubt this is the first time that he's cheated. So, you know, he's feeling regretful for his transgressions because this situation here, like, you may have forgiven him for his having affairs, but maybe having a child out of wedlock, maybe that's where that's where you draw the line, right? And then this also can be even feminine energy. You know, maybe you're feeling like, what's the point of forgiving him again? You've forgiven him so many times before, and now he's brought a child out of wedlock, and so maybe you feel remorseful, or you feel like even if you do forgive him, that this won't be the last time and that you'll regret actually forgiving him. And then for the feminine energy who normally does not mess around with married men, if you are feeling, because you have this craving for this person, that you just can't let them go, perhaps you didn't know they were married in the beginning, and maybe, you know, going back to that Waiting to Exhale situation, maybe he told you he was married, but he's about to get a divorce, and then now the wife has turned up pregnant. If you're considering breaking your rule and still having a relationship with a married man, this 5 of Cups energy can also be the energy that you think that you'll feel, or the energy that you're feeling now, that you're breaking that rule. Okay, so that is the backstory. I want to make sure I got all my notes. Okay, I want to make sure it's as authentic to Instagram as possible. Okay, so that's the backstory. So let's go ahead and get in. Let's start to clarify. All of my decks are saged and pre-shuffled, but we'll go ahead and do a cut on camera. There we go. And let's clarify. All right, so we have the 4 of Pentacles in past energy. The 4 of Pentacles. Spirit, please clarify the 4 of Pentacles. One card, please. Thank you, Spirit. And that is the Chariot. And at the bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups. Okay? So we have the Chariot. Now, 4 of Pentacles can speak about holding back, right? It can speak about holding back, or it can even speak about holding on. The Chariot is the exact opposite energy of that. The Chariot is about moving forward and moving fast. So something in the past, perhaps, maybe you were holding on. If you're the wife, you've been holding on to this relationship. You've, had faith that your husband was going to change. And in fact, he hasn't. Now he's brought in a child, an outside child. And that might have you. I really do believe that whatever this DNA test says, if the DNA test says that it's his child, you're going to get in your Chariot and you're out this relationship. You're out the situation. Because it's a major arcana, I do want to clarify that. And let's use my Wizard of Oz deck to clarify that. Because, see, at the bottom of our clarifying deck, we actually have the Page of Cups. So, again, this has to do with this child energy. And I believe if that DNA test says that this child is his, that this feminine energy is going to be out. But let's go ahead and clarify it. Spirit, clarify the Chariot. One card, please, Spirit. Well, that just jumped out. All right, so we have the Seven of Wands. It says, I am Oz, the great and powerful. And this, of course, is quoted by the Wizard of Oz. Now, the energy that I'm getting here with the Wizard of Oz deck, we know that Dorothy was on a journey. She was on a journey back home. But the way that she thought she could get back home was if she made it to Emerald City to this Wizard of Oz. And he could make all her dreams come true and he could help her to get back home. I think that at one time, this is how you saw this Emperor energy. That's why you married him, right? Emperor carries a very powerful energy. And when he's in his high vibration, he's running an empire, which means he's carrying all the energies of all the kings, the King of Swords, the King of Wands, the King of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. He's a good catch, right? And I think that you have forgiven him for his transgressions in the past. But this right here is where you draw the line, and that's what the Seven of Wands is. This is you drawing the line if he has actually conceived a child out of wedlock. Okay, so that definitely confirms that what we were just speaking about. Now here we have the Emperor. That's the present energy. And we don't really have to do much clarifying of the Emperor because we already know who he is. But what I was also thinking, for whoever resonates with that jailbait story, the Emperor could even be that child's father. Now, when we say child, it depends on how old they are. But if they're not 18 or older in the United States of America, right? If they're not 18 years of older, then they are considered a minor and they're a child. So this Emperor here could be that child's father, that minor's father, and they could be the one that have actually brought this situation to the justice system. Okay? So let's go ahead and just clarify. Let's see what we get on the Emperor. Spirit, clarify the Emperor, please. One card. One card, please, Spirit. There we go. I want to make sure there was not a flipper in here. Okay. So, wow, you can't make this up. Bottom of the deck is the King of Wands. And yeah, see, the King of Wands and the Emperor, these are definitely Aries energy. So you might be dealing with the Aries or fire sign. But yeah, see, the King of Wands, he's generally single. And he's sexy and he's all the above. He knows how to manifest with all his creative abilities and so forth. But he also is the King of Wands, which is the King of Passion, right? And so that's saying here that this Emperor here, he knows that he's King Daddy, right? And this is the energy that he's used to being in. That King of Wands player energy. And the fact that he's married, because the Emperor is generally married to the Empress. But the fact that he's married, it hasn't stopped him. It hasn't slowed him down. And what actually clarified this emperor is the Six of Cups, which is what's in this past energy. So yeah, this is making sense. He's had a child outside of, and even though he's hoping that this isn't another child, because number one, 6 children, that's a lot of children, that's a lot of responsibility. You need to be the emperor if you got 6 kids, right? So it very well can be that, yeah, he has 6 kids, or it could be that this is the test that he's waiting for, to see if he's going to end up having 6 kids. Maybe he has 5 kids with you, and this child out of wedlock could actually be the 6th kid. Now, for some of you, though, and again, I'm going back to that story of Whitney Houston, or Waiting to Exhale. Whitney had been waiting, for this emperor energy to come back. I remember the scene when he walked in, child, and that was that it was a deep and very passionate, intimate scene. And so this is definitely someone from the past. And so even if this is someone from her past that she's been maybe waiting on or whatnot, it could be because of their past connection that's the reason why it's so hard for you to let go of the connection, because you crave this connection. This is something that you've had in the past. It maybe could be something that you've been waiting for to have in the future. Maybe you've been waiting to reconcile. That emperor in Waiting to Exhale, he was giving off that he was going to at any time leave the wife. The marriage wasn't happy. He was going to leave the wife. And because of that, she had been waiting for the reconciliation. Okay? So that definitely goes right along in what it is that we were speaking of. The Emperor with the 6 of Cups. And then we're getting now into the past energy, or the future energy, which is the 6 of Cups. So this here is speaking about either he's waiting on the DNA to say if the child is his or not. If the child is his, I believe that he wants you, who could be this Queen of Swords type energy that's in the justice system, or not necessarily in the justice system, but you're waiting for whatever's been ordered from the justice system. And if that child comes back as your husband's, you're going to drop the sword, which would then make you the Queen of Swords, right? The 6 of Cups could then also, again, be speaking of he's hoping, he's regretful and remorseful. Maybe this transgression of all the transgressions maybe now makes him really see his ways. And, I'm sure, that confession that he made via Usher, has you in some really sad energy, and it has made him feel remorseful and regretful for it. So let's go ahead and clarify the 6 of Cups. We might here get some type of answer whether or not this DNA is going to say that it's his child or not. Or we can also see if this is someone who's been in reconciliation energy. Maybe you're going to decide to make a choice about this 6 of Cups. Maybe you're going to decide, it's not worth waiting for. And in fact, maybe you're going to let it go, right? Instead of reconciling with him. Let's clarify. Spirit, clarify 6 of Cups, please. Thank you, Spirit. All right, and that's death. So yeah, this definitely, whatever happens with this court case, whether it's a court case or whether it's a DNA test, whatever it is, yeah, it's definitely going to end it. And because this is future energy, this is saying to me this is the end of the story. This also says to me that this child is his, right? That he could not resist the temptation of this jailbait, and he took the bait. And so now with this 6 of Cups, remember I also said that this could mean that he's facing 6 years now. And because of that, you're not willing to wait for him. You're not willing to reconcile this situation. It actually has killed the relationship. And then the card that actually wanted to come out here was Page of Pentacles. So again, that's about a child. Pages can be children. And so I see that as energy that, yeah, he has produced another child. The child is his. And because of that, he's facing some really grim situations and circumstances right now. And at the bottom of the deck is Four of Cups. So it's like, there's definitely a missed opportunity. Perhaps, and this is just perhaps, let's just say that the masculine is saying he didn't know that the minor was a minor. Maybe the girl said she was 18, but she actually lied. Or maybe he was denying that the union ever took place. And the only proof that the justice system would be able to go on would be is if this child was actually his. And based on this death situation here, that's saying to me that he missed the opportunity to prove that he didn't mess with that minor and the child is his. And yeah, he's about to serve some time. Interesting. Let's go ahead and now clarify the root, which is the justice. So again, this justice card, because it has the queen on here with the sword as well as the scales, this could be a woman judge, or this can be the wife of the emperor who is making the decision based on what's proven about the child. So let's clarify the justice card. Spirit 1 card, please. There we go. And it is the Two of Wands. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Cups. So again, Two of Wands, that means that you are at a crossroads, and the reason how come you're at the crossroads is because this is your husband and you love him, and he's showing up as the emperor. He's not showing up as a page or a knight. He is the emperor. And so perhaps now that you are deciding that you're going to leave this relationship, or that's the decision that you have to make with this Two of Wands. But it's very clear here that what the decision that came out in court is what's making you make that decision in that Two of Wands energy. And then we have Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups, again, this can be you as well, because you are the mother of his other children. And so if you make the decision that you are going to go ahead and end the marriage, now you're going to be a single mother, but you might also be thinking about how's that going to affect your kids, right? Because it's not just, your marriage, but it's a family unit. And so you could be very fearful about making this decision because, your kids are involved as well. And then the Queen of Cups, also, again, the other scenario when it comes to a woman who normally does not mess with married men, but you have this connection with him. He's from a past connection. We're not going to go into past life, but he's definitely someone from your past, maybe someone you've been waiting for. And in Queen of Cups energy, that's you using your intuition. That's you also using your empathy. And maybe, it's your empathy that makes you make the decision to dead off this relationship with this man, because what he'll do to one, he'll do to you as well. And it can make you be sympathetic for the wife that he's actually cheating on. And maybe you don't want to do that. That goes against your moral ethic and your moral code. Okay? Let's go ahead now and clarify the Five of Cups, which, that's remorse and regret. And again, that could be involving everyone here who's involved, whether you are the third party and you feel remorseful and regretful that you've waited all this time, maybe for some type of offer from him, if he has been saying that he's going to leave the wife. That could be the Five of Cups for the man who fell for the jailbait and now has put his entire empire, his entire family at risk because of whatever that judge's decision was based on that DNA test. The Five of Cups, that it's just remorse and regret. And this entire reading carries that type of energy. It definitely does. Okay, so let's go ahead and clarify the Five of Cups. One card, please, Spirit. All right, we got more than one. Bottom of the deck is Seven of Pentacles. So now someone is thinking about, everything that they've invested. And that again could be the feminine energy, all that's invested into this marriage. You have kids, you have property, so forth and so on. If you do divorce the man, now this Page of Pentacles, instead of having the finances and the financial support that you've been having living with an emperor, now you may just be reduced to child support maybe. The card that flipped out and over is the Moon. And so these are secrets. And so I think here, this is this is what he held back from telling you. And this was a major secret that had to come out. And we have two cards here on the side that didn't flip over. So this might be actually saying what the secret is. But this man in the past definitely held back, right, from telling you the truth of what he was doing. The Queen of Cups, which was at the bottom of the deck, that speaks about intuition and so forth. So this could be a feminine energy who maybe, by the time you had 2 kids or were married 2 years with this man, maybe he had already shown himself to be the King of Wands and he was a cheater, right? But you stayed in with him. Maybe you stayed in with them before you had kids, and then you went ahead and had kids, and so that puts you in that 5 of Cups energy. The Moon is also, this could represent if there is some type of justice system that has ordered a DNA test. This is the secret that we're waiting to come out. For the men who, confess to their partner that they have had an affair, that's one thing. But when you have to tell them, and the other part of the secret is a child may have been conceived, that's a big deal, right? So that's the Moon. And then what also came out here, wow, is 10 of Cups and 8 of Swords. 10 of Cups and 8 of Swords. So 10 of Cups again, this is speaking about a happy family life, right? And so let's just say you're dealing with an emperor who had a feminine energy on the side. She didn't know she was on the side. And then he had to eventually confess that, you know what, I actually am married. And even if he had already told you he was married but said he was getting a divorce, that's the secret he had to reveal to you, that he's married with a wife and kids, right? And so now you can be in that 5 of Cups remorseful energy because you've waited for him, you've waited for a divorce. If it's that he was on the brink of a divorce, but the wife is now turning up pregnant, then it can be that that's the reason how come he can't leave, because we have here the 8 of Swords. And so the 8 of Swords can say that he's trapped now in the marriage because she's pregnant again. There's no way he can leave her pregnant. This 8 of Swords can also speak to, as I said, the 6 of Cups can speak to 6 years. So it could be that this 8 of Swords here is actually speaking about imprisonment. And that once this secret is revealed, the secret being the DNA test, then, he's going to prison. This is a deep story, and we about to get right on out of it. I don't even think there's anything further to clarify, to be honest with you, because we have the child here, we have worth waiting for, and then, I tried to run from this connection, but, my soul still craves you. I don't really want to go any further. I think it's very crystal clear here. One of these scenarios fits, and one of these scenarios I think you're going to resonate with. Clearly, if you are the feminine energy who has been waiting for this masculine to make you some type of genuine, sincere offer, it's clear here that he's not going to be able to do that because he's actually married and has a child on the way, right? If you are the feminine energy who is married to this masculine, and he has confessed that he has had an affair and it has produced a child, he's waiting on a DNA test, you are going to decide with this Death card that, you know what, it's not even worth the wait. You really don't have to wait. You might be waiting just to see if the child is his or not, but at the same time, your decision in the future, because of the 6 of Cups here, right? And this Page of Pentacles, your decision is to dead this relationship. Okay? And then for the masculine energies, that's how the song starts off. Jailbait is they're men, and they're talking to each other, and they're actually saying like, yeah, it's not worth it. You could do it, and you think he could stay between you and I and whatever, but it's just not worth it. And so I would say I read for feminine energies. So if you are a masculine and you're watching, then you're basically a cross watcher. And all I would just say, like, you need to check IDs and stuff. Be safe, right? And then don't fall into temptation. It doesn't matter, even if the child is 17, about to be 18, the 18 is the number of this card. So you need to wait until they're at least 18. Fight that temptation and wait until that minor is 18. Because if not, you're going to end up in a death situation, right? And a death, if you're the emperor, the death is to your empire. So whatever you're out here in your freedom doing and running and so forth, you can end your marriage, which is the Ten of Cups, right? You could end your empire. It's just not worth it. So fight the temptation. And let's just get off of the subject of the jailbait, but how about we just fight the temptation to be a cheater in the first place? Right? And if your wife, for some reason, because every situation is different, if your wife for some reason does decide to forgive you, even whether the child is yours or not, even though the child I believe is yours, but if it turns out that your wife does accept you and does accept the child into your family unit and you are living as one, don't do this to her again. Don't do this to her again, because the next time it will be death. The death of your marriage. And let's just hope not the death of you. Right? All right, ladies. Well, listen. Thank you, Collective, for joining me today. And if you like the message or are encouraged in your direction, in your situation, then I have answered the call and I understood the assignment, and it is my pleasure indeed. This was a hard one to deliver, but I hope I did my best, and I hope it helped somebody. And one last thing, remember, always follow, believe, trust, and listen to your intuition. Know your worth and be worthy. Until next time, take care now. Bye-bye then. Peace, love, and light. Namaste, Collective.